This is the front desk.
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the Crackin' Backs podcast with your hosts, Dr. Terry Wyman and Dr. Spencer Barron. How you guys doing today?
Doing
Hey,
great,
Lancey.
Good. What is with the nickname?
I don't know. I got hooked on that. Sorry.
Okay, join us today
Hello.
is a man who's infamous on YouTube, Mr. Heath Hussar. Heath
Hey,
has
guys.
millions of subscribers and followers across many platforms, hosts his own podcast, Unfiltered, that millions enjoy. Haven't seen you in what, like a year, man? How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing because if you see me, that means I'm in pain.
Me?
So I guess it's a good thing you haven't seen me, but it's also sad.
Yeah, I've actually seen you. You know, we've had some fun. We did some axe throwing, and we had some good times. Hey, Leith. Hey, I told you off air, but I'm going to say it on air. I told Spencer I'm a little intimidated about having this guy with multi-millions of followers and this big Vine, YouTube, Instagram, dude, God on our show. It's pretty cool that you decided to come on our show and teach
What
us.
a build-up.
Yeah, you like that?
Does that pipe you up in the morning, hearing that?
Yeah. So
Yeah, that feels good.
Thank you for first coming on and showing the love, and all that kind of stuff.
Of course. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey, you gotta tell Spencer first, so it comes from you, how we met. I think because it's kind of a cool story, actually.
Yeah. So I had done this video where we were on like a tube being pulled around in a circle, and I was riding it with my buddy, and he was next to me. And we got going pretty fast, and it like ripped me off the edge of the tube, and I went flying this way, and my buddy's body went into me and literally just hit my rotator cuff and just like really messed it up. And one of my buddies, Riley Harper, he had recommended Dr. T. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll go check him out. Ended up going there, and then he fixed my shoulder, fixed my back. And I've been going for little things that probably don't make sense. I messed my finger up, so I took those. I also had a plumbing issue, so I came just a bunch of different things. He's like my dad out here now.
I thought when you raised your finger that you went for a broken nail. I go, what? Terry, you're doing manicures now? That's nice.
Hey, at least he didn't go with the finger. At least he didn't go with the finger and the plumbing issue and put those two together.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
That's called a prostate exam.
People don't realize that a lot of your stunts are, I think the general public thinks it's all just made up on the fly, and it's really not, is it?
No, so I kind of think of like what we do as situational improv. It's kind of everybody's kind of winging it while we're filming. All the jokes and stuff are made on the fly, but we'll come up with an idea and like a general, principle for what like the video is going to be. So we'll put ourselves in a situation and then we kind of just act out what's going on and come up with it on the spot. So it's set up, but not at the same time.
That's very
If that makes sense.
So you go with the flow, whatever happens.
Yeah. Oh, he's a flow guy.
Yeah.
So you originally started. I really am going to hate to admit this, but you originally started in Florida, and
I did.
Yeah, and you got out, which was smart. And but when you were
That's
in
the man's hometown. You can't say that.
Oh yeah, I can. But you were, when you got out, you weren't going to be this wasn't your job path, was it?
No, so I accidentally fell into social media. Well, I grew up acting, doing, plays, different things, sketch comedy, improv. And then I kind of put it on the back burner. I was like, this is a very tough career to go into. And then I ended up going to college and I was going to do criminal justice. I was going to be a cop. So I did 3 years of school. And right when I was getting ready to go to a new spot, graduate, I ended up starting a Vine account with my buddy. started gaining followers on there, and we were like, what is going on? All of our friends were like, these are so funny, keep doing it. So we kept making more and more videos, and then it got to the point where we started like having viral ones and started building, you know, hundreds of thousands, millions of followers, and we're like, this is crazy. We started making money off of it, and it ended up being more than my full-time job. So I was like, this is a weird path to go down, but like I'm with it. This is fun. I get to act again. I get to like, you know, get into character. So like, let's just try it. And we both decided to move out to LA to come meet up with other creative people out here in the space and just collab, made a bunch of videos, and we were like, okay, this is it. We're staying.
That's so
You
cool.
started in Florida
Kinda
doing the vines?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny. How was it a
But
lot
I've been out
different
here
when you
for 8 years now.
was it a lot different than Florida moving out to that other area of the country?
Yeah, it's definitely way different out here. I don't know which one I like better yet. It's still 8 years, and I still don't know. I miss my family and my friends from back home, but for work-wise, I think it's great to be out here just because everybody out here is doing the same thing, you know, so it's easy to do collabs. It's easy to have guests on the podcast. It's easy to meet up, take meetings in the space. So that's definitely a lot better in LA.
Is the behaviors, the comedy or the stunts, are they, you have to be different or careful, or does it catch on better there than it did back here?
Well, Florida's pretty grimy, and they're doing some pretty crazy shit out there too.
Grimy.
Grimy. Did you have to use that word? I mean, really, you just gave Terry ammunition
Oh
here.
yeah, grimy. That's his new nickname.
So your family still lives in this grimy part of the country, right? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Wait till they
Yeah.
find out you said that.
Yeah, it's different, but I don't really do too much like stunts anymore. I used to be kind of like crazier on the internet, and I've kind of toned myself back. I'm getting a little bit too old to be doing the young stuff that I used to.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm letting the new people that are coming onto the platform. They're the ones that are working and grinding to do the crazy stuff.
Yeah, you still tried the unicycle though.
Yeah. It's the little parties that we have where I'll have a couple drinks, and then I think I can do these things that I used to do, and then that's where my injuries take place, and then that's why I end up at Dr.
when-
T's.
When all
Oh my
those
God.
old characters from 2014 to start to come out and, you know,
Yeah,
take over. You're in a big house in LA, and you're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Heath, do you have other people that you like? Are you more production now than have other people doing these crazy ass things?
so I used to do like my own vlogs on YouTube. I'd post like a couple times a week. But now the only thing I'm really focusing on is the podcast. So it's me and my buddy Zane.
Oh.
We started it together, and then we have my girlfriend and then our best friend Matt on it as like co-hosts. So we do that once a week. And now I kind of just have fun with my other platforms. Like on Instagram, I post whenever I want, just fun pictures that, you know, speak to me, as opposed to, you know, back in the day, I was just like posting because I felt like I had to build the audience. I had to do this. I had to whatever. It's just kind of become a little settled down, which is really nice. And I get to focus on my one thing, which is the podcast. We just launched a Patreon, so we're doing old school kind of vlogs again, Zane and I. And we're also doing a couple bonus episodes of the podcast. You get early access. So just really honing in on this this new style of content that we're putting out.
Is there a particular subject you focus on?
Honestly, it's just like what goes on in our week. We kind of put ourselves out there and put ourselves into situations where funny things could happen. So we'll do like a little weekly recap, and then we've got stories on stories that have happened to us in the past that are fun.
Oh, that's
So
Yeah.
we kind of share those.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty.
Thank you.
And when you first, going back to some of the stuff, when you first came in, you had no idea that a chiropractor could help a shoulder injury, did you?
No. I remember telling my friends about what was going on, and they were like, I don't get it. I was like, no, he put this thing on my arm that was like, and it would send these shocks through it. And they're like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, yeah, he's got something else where he like flipped the ions in my body. And they were like, okay, now I'm making shit up. And I was like, no, it's like they were like, they make them positive, negative. I was trying to explain everything that Dr. T was telling me. Obviously, it didn't make sense when I say it, but I'm sure there's a better way to describe it.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know, it's magic, it's magic. And they're like, all right, okay,
Oh
But you
my
got
gosh.
better, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll have to work on the talk about the ions and all that. We'll have to work on that one. A little
Was
bit,
I close?
No.
Think about mitochondrial, and then you're okay.
Yeah, we can go mitochondrial, cellular work on that stuff. But yeah, we'll work on that next time.
Yeah, you know what? For one of your episodes, we can do science room, and we can bring
Yeah.
that whole thing in. There you go.
There you go.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Heath, I got a question for you. You're gonna have to be creative on the fly.
Yeah.
You ready?
Oh god.
If you were to do a Vine or a podcast, or no, let's say a Vine back in the day,
Okay.
in your experience in Dr. Terry's office,
Right.
what would it look like?
Oh
boy.
my god. Well, first of all,
Oh, boy.
Already.
like on TikTok, like the back cracking stuff is
Yes.
so viral. Every single one.
Yeah.
People eat that shit up.
Oh.
So
I
that,
hate
that just a video of Dr. T laying me on my back. He does this thing where he pulls my head forward and then he'll like roll me back and then just like
Yeah.
pop it. Honestly, just showing my face when that happens.
Oh, how
Oh my
funny.
god! And then the just relief afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instantly, people would eat that stuff up, or people are making. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to talk shit, but people are starting to make fun of you guys right now.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
And
All the time.
All the time.
They'll put down the rice cakes. You know,
I saw that.
they'll
Yeah.
put them in a stack, and they'll be
Yeah.
like chiropractors be like, and they'll be like, all right, so we got a C2, we got a little we got something going on here. We're gonna, and then they'll pop the
Oh,
rice
yeah.
cakes, and it'll make the cracking sound, and that that shit makes me laugh.
And
Yeah,
you and
man.
I have talked about like the Y strap and stuff like that, and how it horrifies us.
Yeah.
Yet it gets,
Wow.
you know, I don't think Spencer and I want to be YouTube famous. We want to rather just fix people.
Mhm.
But it is funny in the process, though.
Oh, it is. But
Yeah.
if you want me to take a picture or film me adjusting you and you having that look of satisfaction after I have my arms around you, we
Yeah.
can do that.
It's more the embrace that's making me happy
Yeah.
than
I
it
know.
is the satisfaction of the
Yeah.
I was waiting to go there.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with that. Just the fact that I put my arms around you, it brings
Exactly.
you joy.
It does.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
you can do. I can already see the TikTok now. Him putting your arms around you. Some Celine Dion comes in the
Yep.
background.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
And
he's
it's-
wearing a wig.
Yeah.
All done in slow motion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? Because Spencer, that's a West Coast thing.
You don't get that in Florida.
No,
Scary.
it'd be all
No.
like Chingy Baba and all that kind of stuff in Miami. We'd have to do
I ain't
the
gonna
salsa
argue with
if
that.
we're in
That's
Miami.
true. Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Spencer,
Yeah.
you're in Miami.
Yeah.
In
he's
Fort
in
Lauderdale area, yeah, which is
That's
no
where I'm
different. Really?
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, my
no.
gosh, that's great, man.
I'm from. Have you heard of Plantation?
Of course. I pass
That's
by
where
there
I'm
every
from.
day. No kidding.
Yeah, so I went to South Plantation High School. My
Oh my
house that I grew up
gosh.
in is right there.
No kid. That's
Oh no.
I
No.
pass by it all the time.
No.
Did
No.
are your
I'm gonna have
parents?
to
Are
come
your
and see you when I go home.
No.
I'm in Florida.
you do?
He's taking a client. I'll be home in about like a week and a half.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
there you
go.
go.
There you go. And I don't know about the negative ion thing or whatever you said. I'll explain it to you the right way. Don't worry. Don't worry.
And you know what? I will say this, and Hunch, and Spencer can give you the embrace. It won't be my embrace, but he can still give you that Miami flair. That's for love there,
A
flair.
hug and a little lollipop, and I'm
Yeah. There you go. Oh my gosh! Is your family still out here
Yeah, so
in
they live in
Plantation?
that house, yeah.
Oh my gosh! How funny is that? You're right
Yep.
down the block. That's great.
Born and
Yeah.
raised.
You miss anything about South Florida?
Um, honestly, just the people.
Yeah.
It's getting
Yeah.
it's getting a little bit too crowded and
Ooh, yeah.
packed down there. The traffic's every time I go
Oh,
home, I'm like, holy shit! It's
it's
more and more people.
yeah.
Traffic gets worse, and I'm like, this is really crazy.
Yeah.
But they're
More now.
they're just
Yeah.
they're expanding. They're putting more and more shops, more restaurants, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
How do you
It's
like the
gotten
weather?
oh, it's disgusting. Dr. T is trying to win me back on the weather.
You know,
the weather.
he set you up. He set you up for that
Yeah,
one.
the
know.
weather, and we have mountains. So
Yeah.
we have mountains and weather. We don't have the flat, moist.
Swamps.
We-
Swamp.
Well, we don't have masks, and we don't. We have a great governor.
Oh, you got me on that one. Yeah. Shit. I got nothing
No.
on that one.
That's actually why some.
No state tax.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh my gosh. But
You guys.
anyway, it's all good.
So your schedule is crazy. So
Yeah.
how do you manage your health so you don't get sick? You're always traveling. You're always doing stuff. What's the tips you can for guys that are coming up the rank in your world? And obviously this is a lot about health and keeping people,
Right.
nutrition, chiropractic, and all that kind of stuff. They don't realize the amount of hours that go into what you do. I mean, and every time I see you, I'm just blown away of the hours that go in behind those little videos. And if you're
Right.
sick, you're screwed. So
Oh, yeah.
how do you manage all that?
Excuse me. Yeah, it's tough. You're saying like my schedule. I have a crazy schedule, but at the same time I have no schedule, which is what makes it insane. So one thing that I'm working on could be an hour, it could be 6 hours all day into the next thing. You got the editing process, you've got brainstorming for the next video idea, coming up with topics for the podcast, figuring out guests, scheduling with guests, getting them ready. So it's nonstop. As soon as I wake up, as soon as I go to bed, it's just work. And if I'm not working, I'm thinking about what the next thing I'm going to do is. And it's definitely tough, but trying to keep time in that for a workout. I try to work out every single morning. As soon as I wake up, I'll go to the gym for like an hour and a half. So making sure I've got that, I feel like that keeps me pretty healthy no matter what. Always try to like take care of my physical well-being. And then I've been trying to eat clean lately. I notice drinking is what really messes me up. So if I go out drinking, I'm gonna eat terrible. I'm gonna have I instantly just no self-control. I'll have pizza, chicken wings, and then it's just downhill from there. So trying to stay away from that as much as I possibly can. It makes my work better. The next day I can get shit done. I can work out. So it's definitely tough with the amount of stuff that I'm doing, but it's all these little things that add up that make it easier.
Well, you're finding that out at an early age. We on an earlier podcast, we had one of Terry's patients, one of the founders from the group Nickelback, and
Right.
he's just talking about how he has to keep healthy because he abused himself for so many years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you're an entertainer, not much different than he is, and you
Yeah, we
realize,
put our bodies on the line to
yeah,
make people happy.
right, right.
Like a lot of stuff that I was doing back in the day on the early videos was me and my buddy just getting fucked up and just having a ball. It was basically like, the people on Jackass, they're not doing that shit sober. They need a little bit of courage somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
What's one of the craziest stunts you've done?
Oh my God. I honestly don't even know. A lot of jumping off like ladders and stuff to land on like a table while people are having like a dinner. We would have, so every like whatever holiday it would be, if it was Easter or some sort of birthday party. I don't know what started it. I could send you guys a video, but there would always be like a dinner or a cake going on, and I would climb up a ladder and I would jump off and I would like WWE crash down in the center of the table on the food and everything.
Oh my God.
Those were always fun ones, and then I'd go see Dr. T afterwards. But then there was one we did in a pizza restaurant where I stood up on a table, like I was like asking who ordered a pizza, and there was a table that was like, probably like 5-10 feet over, and they were like, "Oh, that's over here." So I took the pizza and I just dove off the counter and I landed down on the table and just shit going everywhere. Those were always fun.
All right, who wanted the large pepperoni? Right here. Coming up.
Oh my god!
When I edit the video for this, I'm definitely splicing those in.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can
Saying these.
I can send you those.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
What's one of the things that really went awry that you went, oh, this is gonna be easy, and all of a sudden it wasn't easy, or it just went south?
Honestly, the last one that I did with the pizza, that like I knew how to like land on tables and get it to crack in the center so it doesn't like you're not taking that full blow. But when I did that last one, I'm not doing it anymore. The legs, instead of like staying strong and then the center buckling out, the legs went like this. So the whole, instead of like collapsing in the center, the whole table just went like this. So it just full on fell onto the ground from the dive. And I was like, okay, yeah, that hurt a little bit.
What about the people that were there?
They kind of slid out from the table. So like the table collapsed
Oh my gosh!
in front of them.
So they probably need a chiropractor from the fear,
Right.
the whiplash that they experience.
Second-hand backache.
I noticed you have a logo, Cremota. What is that?
Yeah, that's my coffee company.
A coffee company.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's multi entrepreneurs.
I would have thought you would have started a liquor company.
Honestly, we've thought about it for a really long time, and that's something that's very well possible in the future.
Yeah, he's very entrepreneurial. She's very good.
That's great.
Thank you.
Great.
So, Spence, being from his hometown,
Yeah.
ask him about some of that East Coast, West Coast health stuff that you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask because then the chances of me getting a positive, perspective on the East Coast might be a little better.
That's
so
do it your way.
So, so he. Well, first, let me ask you because were you ever treated by a chiropractor here in the north, in the east?
North.
It's northeast.
No,
Well,
never.
I'm north. I mean, in the northeast.
You're
Whatever.
south.
Never mind. No,
Are you in New York?
No, when he first said Miami, and I said it's Fort Lauderdale. That's north. That was my sense of location there. No, go ahead. You hadn't seen one?
No. No, my injuries and everything started coming out when we got here.
Oh my God! There you go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you really had your parents ever been to a chiropractor, or would they have suggested it to you, or your?
My dad's always wanted to go to one. I don't know why he hasn't. He's got a terrible back. Always complaining. But for some reason, he's one of those tough guys. Like he ripped his the entire top of his finger off, nail, everything, completely slit it off, and wouldn't go to the doctor. He just put gauze around it and then electrical tape, and then he just will not go to the doctor for anything.
Oh my God!
Is that where you get the craziness from?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. Do you find the East Coast, West Coast? So what do you find mentality with all your travels back and forth and living in both coasts?
It seems like you guys got this thing going on where somebody just wants to win East Coast versus West Coast.
Absolutely. And we're very competitive.
How do you think I feel having to listen to this 24/7? It's the East Coast and West Coast and trenches. Those are the two words.
You know what? I haven't said trenches for a while on purpose.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So what are you saying?
Go ahead.
East Coast, West Coast. What was it?
So you see, we all kind of handle health different, and we all look at the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, the North, the South. Everybody has a different idea of what health is. I mean, you go to the Midwest, it's like what kind of gravy you want on your meat, So so what have you noticed? I mean, I think the the Florida and Miami are great with they're very influenced by the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, the islands.
The Cubans, baby.
The Cubans. We're very influenced by some of the Mexicans and fish and different things. What do you feel that the health when you see go back and forth? Well, like fish.
Fish?
Yeah, fish.
Yeah, the fish.
Well, every time, now it's like there's seafood everywhere. It's just
Lance, can you translate? Lance, translate that for me. The fish.
Yeah.
I can't. I have no freaking idea where he's going with this.
Food is
I need a
influencer.
roadmap.
Yeah, food's a big influencer. But what do you see about health? I'll just shut the hell up.
Next question.
Definitely, West Coast is more health conscious. With food, everything around here is vegan options, gluten free, all sorts of different dietary restrictions. Definitely more prominent here in California than in
Is
Florida.
it health conscious or pretentiousness?
And that's a fine line. You don't know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's a good question.
But people think that they're healthier.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
In Florida, it's just fucking barbecue, baby. Whatever, just eat whatever you want. It makes you happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if you think about it,
I think.
yeah, we get a lot of island the people from the islands, and they're all about the
fish.
frying things and frying fish and more fish and a lot of fish. So we got a lot of fish out here too. Oh, wait, hold on. Where am I going with that?
My favorite food is Cuban food though, so I definitely choose Florida for that.
Oh yeah. That's always.
Oh my god. Best.
Padrinos,
Yep.
classic Cuban restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've been to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I have.
Las Vegas is another good Cuban restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
they
funny.
do.
It's
We might have to go there.
Yeah.
We're
That'd
gonna be there
great.
in a couple weeks, so we might have to check that out.
I'll give you a full list of stuff to see.
All right, I love it. And I think what Florida has over us is I think their spice and is just so much better. I think they know how to really spice up the food.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give
In
you
their
that.
food and their woman.
That's your son right there.
There he
Dr. T.
goes. Yeah, and I'm damn proud of him.
As you should be.
Heath, let me ask you: do you notice? I mean, statistics are always key to a success, especially in a podcast or a Vine or a YouTube. Do you know where a lot of your audience is out of? I mean, is there a majority in certain areas?
Yeah, so we check our demographics pretty frequently. So my fan base is 70% female, predominantly 18 to 24 age group, and it's basically all the big cities. So I think it's like 20% in Los Angeles, another majority in Texas, Florida, and New York.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. Why is that, you think? Why would females want to see you guys murder each other?
I don't know. I don't know. And it's not like I'm this crazy good looking dude that brings them. I don't know what it is.
It works.
But
Literally
yeah, for
the
some
only
reason.
people who are my friends that know Heath, they're all women. And not a single dude knows who he is. Like, that's all exactly. That's there you go. No, you gotta do the exactly. Play some some soft emo rap in the background.
There
when
you
do
go.
that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's great. So you know your demographics. That's pretty cool. Do you cater to that based on what a certain region likes most?
A little, I guess, but not really. Our content is just who we are. We stay true to ourselves.
Yeah.
We post what we like, post what we want. And if people like it, they like it. We try not to change our stuff up just to please people. It's kind of, we listen to our audience. We know how to make it better for them, but everything we do online is pretty true to us.
Did you not say California in that list, in that short
Oh no,
list?
California's definitely up there.
Oh, you did say
Yeah.
as part of the demographic. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you might have mentioned that first, but I heard.
Yeah,
I heard.
Just because you don't want to hear it.
he heard Florida.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
I did. It was. We call it selective hearing. That's
Exactly.
exactly right. So you started this with, because Terry had told me before that you guys were going to be cops, and then you gave yourself a timeline
yeah,
and realized you were making more money and gaining this ridiculous attention out of nowhere, and it was right up your alley. Is that how it all started for you? Is that what really?
We made a goal for ourselves. We were like, if we hit, I think it was at the time, if we hit 50,000 followers by the end of the year or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, we'll drop out of school and we'll pursue this.
Yeah.
And when the time came, I think we were at like 250,000, and I was like, oh shit, this is crazy now.
Wow.
So, like he was saying about the income, I was making more off of quick little Vine videos than I was a full-time job as a manager, and I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, this is when social media was new, just blowing up, and people were making money. It just like didn't make any sense. Didn't even know this could be a career when we first started it.
Right.
So we just we saw the potential and we just ran with it.
What I think is really interesting that hasn't been mentioned yet is that when Vine got bought out and shut down, you had to pivot.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we did Vine. I think we had 3.6 million followers on that. Like that was our thing.
Oh my God, really?
And yeah, so we got the news they were going to shut down, and we're like, holy shit, what do we do? This is our job. This is the only thing we have.
Yeah.
One of our buddies started filming YouTube videos, David Dobrik. We started acting in his, helping him make content, and we saw his success and was like, holy shit, this is doing really well for him. And we were just constantly in his videos. We started doing well on Instagram because of it. Like, okay, I think it's time we make a YouTube channel as well. So we made the switch, started posting YouTube videos, and then it just started growing from there, just being able to pivot and navigate whatever space you're in. Did that for a while, and we're like, okay, this is getting a little bit, dry. So we switched over and pivoted to the podcast space. So I think that's one big thing about, social media is figuring out the next thing before the thing you're working on dies out. Because I do not want that feeling again of when Vine collapsed on us. It was terrifying.
Yeah, but you learn.
So
you get
constantly
tough.
trying to reinvent.
Yeah,
right.
You learn, and I think we learn most from our failures, bad decisions or wrong decisions. Is there anything in particular you recall? Because you make one pivot that might be a mistake, and sometimes it's a little challenging to recover. Anything in particular happen?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because the wrong turns and things that have gone completely terrible for me have been looking back now, the best thing that could have ever happened. So in the moment, I was like, this is done. Like, this is the lowest I've ever felt. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am, which is a really cool thing to think about. So I had something go wrong with me, business partner, and it just really, really, really bad. So I ended up moving back to Florida for 3 months. I was like, I'm done with LA. This place is fucking toxic. Like, hate it. I was going to stay in Florida, and then I was like, you know what? No. I went out there. I wanted to give this a shot. I was like, I can't just fucking give up now. So I had no money in my account. I ended up getting paid for a brand deal that I did a few months prior, and I took all of that and I bought a camera. I was like, I'm starting my own YouTube channel. I'm doing this by myself. And I came back, started filming my own videos, and then that is what led to all this. So in the moment, great. I was mortified.
Yeah.
But, if I didn't get fucked over, if I didn't have these things happen to me, if I didn't, get put in that situation, I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing now. So everything happens for a reason.
That is a great, in fact, that's probably one of the pearls that we seem to get out of our podcast, is something that, you overcame a lot of obstacles, or one big ugly obstacle, and I love those stories. Yeah, actually, you know what? I not only love those stories, but I like feed off of those stories because they give me inspiration because we all go through our shit.
Yes.
But to hear somebody else, and Terry and I, we're used to treating athletes all day long. But when you hear somebody who overcomes an obstacle that is not an athlete, is in the world of business, it just rounds out our spectrum of experiences. I think that's
Yes.
really, really, really. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sharing that. That's cool stuff. The the business partner thing. I know I had an experience like that too. You just keep driving through, man. You go, you sometimes go, why me? And you go, now I know why me. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
I think anybody in success has had those stories. I mean, I think if it was too easy, we wouldn't be successful.
Right.
I think anything that makes us, it's the people that get slammed to the ground that get up are the ones who are successful. The ones that stay on the ground are the ones that aren't successful.
That's true.
You let it make or break you.
Yeah.
Heath, let me ask you, if you were a chiropractor,
lucky son of a bitch.
I threw it up there to see if you were a chiropractor and you wanted to do something on social media.
Are you asking me for advice on how you could build a social media presence?
Oh, actually,
in a hypothetical.
Okay, I was actually thinking about how other chiropractors that would be listening to this podcast, what you would suggest. But yeah, me. What about me? Yeah, tell me.
Honestly, the best way to do it is just go on Instagram, whatever platform, and just send cold DMs. Be like, hey, listen, I'm a chiropractor. I noticed you're in the area. I'd love to have you come in. Give them a free, session, whatever it is. And then hope they post something about it and film something while they're there and put it out a little bit at a time. Gain a little bit of followers, a little bit of eyes. Build it in your community, in your area, and then just try to keep expanding.
Oh, I like that.
And all right,
I like that. Thanks.
On that note, you've got the guys that are being made fun of with the rice cakes and the loud pops, and yes, it gets tons of followers and the snaps and all that. But you also, because we're getting made fun of, how's a new chiropractor coming out can do well, but not go down that path where there's the Y strap and the crack, and how do we get the information out, but in a fun way? But change the perception, because all the social media, there's a lot of crap out there.
So there's a couple ways to do it. There's people that do those crack pop things, and then there's also chiropractors I've seen that are reacting to these, and they're giving the information while the other one's playing. So you could duet a video on TikTok and be like, okay, look at this. So right here, this is actually bad for your back. This is, I don't, the terminology, I don't remember. They're flipping the ions.
Ions, yeah.
So they're going through while the video is playing and saying like, this is wrong. This can actually harm your back. This is the way you're supposed to be doing it, blah, blah, blah. And you can give the information that is lacking in those videos. And I can send examples of that. But there was this one that I actually just saw like a couple of days ago. There was a chiropractor doing this pop, and the other guy was reacting to it and was like, see, he said like, oop, that was the wrong one. That was this. And was like cracking the wrong spot. And he's like, this guy doesn't even know what he's doing. He's cracking the wrong spot. And then he was like, look, he's just guessing. But yeah, basically you can do something like that and you can get the information that you want out.
Wow.
But you don't have to necessarily make that content. You can piggyback off of somebody else doing it and then correct it.
That's a great idea.
Wow. Okay.
I get sent chiropractic videos or crazy stuff all the time. Going, hey, from my friends and patients. What do you think about this? And it have like some guy out of India with a big sledgehammer and what looks like a chisel, and he's slamming on a guy's back.
Yeah.
I go, that's a whole nother interview.
Right?
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's possible.
It
looks
is
like
wild.
the chisel, and they're like popping it into like.
Yeah. It's
my favorite one is there's a video of a knee surgery, and it was a broken shin or whatever, and so they had to pop open the bone, and then they had to put a metal rod down the middle of
And the way they whack that thing into the
and so they're just whacking it
Yeah.
like it's a railroad tie.
Yeah.
And just not giving a
dude.
shit.
no, and that's real.
Watch it. I was like,
That's knee
yeah.
replacement surgery. Yeah, crazy,
Yeah, that's all
crazy.
yeah,
It's awful.
yeah. I
Yeah.
want to. They should sell tickets to that. That would be
No.
amazing.
Yeah,
No, they do. It's called medical school.
yeah.
Balance some
And it's a
brain
very
not just for
expensive
regular
ticket.
people. And they have the surgeon's viewing room, and then
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
one with popcorn.
Oh yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Hey,
Oh.
Heath, I know your time's valuable, and we want to kind of wrap this up because you've given us some great stuff. But is there anything that, with now that you have us as an audience flipping the table, is there anything you want to, you want to ask us, or is there anything you see that new chiropractors coming out, old ones that are kind of burned out? What, as a patient, as a friend, as a guy that knows a lot of people that I know, and from being East Coast, West Coast, what's some things that you think that you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I haven't been to Spencer yet, but I will try to get in there when I go home to Florida.
Oh, he's great. He's
That's
great.
going to be
But,
thanks. That's going to be another podcast for us. His opinion.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Eastern
Yeah.
medicine,
There you
Eastern
go.
medicine versus fish medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
That's the fish.
Thanks,
But
Lance.
I've only been to Dr. T, so I can only speak from that. But I will say, obviously, you do a great job at helping me with my issues. But it's the family that you guys have at the office, and it's how welcoming you guys are that really keeps me coming back. There's a connection, and it's not just like you're put into this system where you're just like in out. There's it's just a quick transaction. Everybody there has been super kind to me. And any sort of thing that I've had that was wrong with me, there was somebody that could help. With what was his name, Luca?
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
having me go see Luca's amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can come with a fucked up finger,
Yeah.
it's just like it's that I really really enjoy and look forward to. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that, and
That's great.
And I'm gonna flip it back around. I really appreciate how you treat our family. I mean, you've been kind to my son, you've been kind to my wife, and you've done amazing. So I think it's easy to be kind to people when they're kind back.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I think that, and Spencer, I know he runs his office very similar to mine, and you'll feel equally at home out there. So that would be something that new doctors need to hear, that not to make us sterile, but also be human and be kind to people and listen to them, and not just trying to get them in and out. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Absolutely.
Your experience is probably one of the most valuable things that we like to present to the audience, the doctors, the new doctors, even the old doctors, because I think that's like so important, is to have a relationship with your patients. That's great. Thanks a lot.
agree.
Appreciate you for that.
Thank you guys.
All right, Heath. We're gonna wrap this up, and I'm just gonna say, for a guy who's super, super, super busy, thank you so much for carving out a few minutes of time for us fledgling podcasters, helping us out, giving us advice, and listening to my fish stories. And I appreciate
Ramble on at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you've done for me and my family, and I'm glad that you're part of my family, and now you're part of Spencer's family. So anyway, thank you for your time. I really appreciate
you guys.
Appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. You can find announcements and more on our Instagram at the Crackin' Backs Podcast. Give us a follow and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Tune in every Monday and Wednesday for a new episode at 7 a.m. CST. See you next time.